Hello, welcome to the channel QPK News. Please subscribe to the channel to follow the latest news of the day. Fans poured in to congratulate Tan Songyun on welcoming the happy crystallization. When the fans realized that Tan Songyun and his new love had been showered with delectable fruits, their level of happiness skyrocketed to an all-time high. Tan Songyun is one of the actresses who, despite the fact that she is not the most popular actress, yet manages to garner a significant amount of attention from the general public. Films in which she appears, in whatever capacity, are nearly uniformly well regarded and attain levels of success that are pleasing to the filmmakers. The expressions "Kam White Chi Ha" are best, taking the name of a family, and so on are only a few instances of frequent phrases. Tan Songyun, who does not restrict himself to working on a specific genre of film, collaborated with Vong Kai most recently on the creation of the film Going with the Wind. The viewer is presented with genuine footage of the aviation industry courtesy of the film's two main characters. Ko Nam Din, who is portrayed by Vong Kai, and Trin Tu, played by Tan Songyun. Immediately following the presentation of the first episode of the pilot season, the film was unexpectedly met with a great deal of popularity. As a result, the first two episodes of The Wind That Goes garnered an average rating of 1.23 stars from viewers, while episodes 3 and 4 received an average rating of 1.17 stars. In addition to this, on the very first day that their films were broadcast, those directed by Tan Songyun and Vong Kai received more than 22,000 temperature points on the Tencent platform and 7,000 points on the IQIYI platform respectively. Both of these platforms are owned by Alibaba Group Holding Limited. This is a fairly significant achievement, considering that the drama in question is centered on aviation. In addition to having material that is interesting, the movie also features appealing performances by Tan Songyun and Vong Kai, both of whom have received a great lot of acclaim for their work in the film. People are excited about the movie for a number of reasons, one of which is because of the chemistry that exists between this duo. The fact that Tan Songyun always presents a different persona on screen is a significant contributor to why she is regarded as one of the most popular actors in the business. This attractive woman has a lot of work to do to back up her claims, even though there isn't a lot of foot traffic like there is on Duong 2 or Dai Klun Hyat Ba. The films that Tan Songyun creates are almost always of a very good quality, so it will not be a waste of time to wait for such a long period. We would like to extend our warmest congratulations to Tan Songyun and Vong Kai on the successful harvest of the delicious fruits they grew. The first few episodes' successes have been far too constant for them to be attributed to random chance. Tan Songyun is without a doubt Biz chameleon since she can assume a variety of personas and masks. The direction of The Wind is currently one of the movies that audiences are looking forward to watching in theaters more than any other at this time. As Ren Jialun prepares to leave the company, this person will step into the first shift seat at HR Century and assume the responsibilities associated with it. There is a rumor going around that Ren Jialun may quit his contract with HR Century in 2023, following in the footsteps of Duong 2, who did the same thing. This would be following in the footsteps of Duong Tuesday. People are highly curious because they do not know who will be the next character to be full of feathers. As a result, they would rather leave the management business HR Century in 2021 following Duong 2's departure than find out who will be the next full of feathers. And in case you were curious about the identity of the person who the vast majority of internet users consider to be the most knowledgeable, that person is none other than Ren Jialun. On a regular basis, speculations about Ren Jialun's resignation from HR Century or the renewal of the contract with the company arose on social networking sites. A blogger made the announcement not too long ago that the actor will leave the company in 2023 in order to become his own boss, just like Duong 2 did. The news was broken not too long ago. It is important to note that not long after this story began to spread, another Chinese blogger posted a response on a forum claiming that the artist contract between HR Century and Ren Jialun is still quite lengthy and that it is highly improbable that Ren will quit the company. This is something that should be taken into consideration. However, this individual also stated that even though it is true that the actor owns his own studio, the music CD that he released is exempt from the requirement to share its proceeds with the corporation. This individual stated that this exemption applies even though it is true that the actor owns his own studio. Internet users were left quite perplexed and unclear of whom or what they should put their faith in prior to the publication of two postings that contained material that was in direct opposition to one another. In addition, there are a few people who speculate about who would replace Ren Jialun in the first song chair at HR Century in the case that he decides to leave the company. If this occurs, the chair will become vacant because Ren Jialun will no longer be working there. Tan Gi is the person who possesses the greatest number of relevant skills and ought to be given priority for the position of first shift. Naturally, this comes with the proviso that Tan Gi must continue to capitalize in HR Century until Ren Jialun leaves the company. This obligation will remain in place until Ren Jialun leaves the business. People have been speculating that Tan Gi, who has become more prominent in recent years as a result of the influence of Agarwood Hung Fai, who formerly held the position of Lu Lai Mainan Sat, would be the best person to fill this chair. This speculation comes as a result of the fact that Agarwood Hung Fai was previously in charge of Lu Lai Mainan Saturday. In point of fact, despite the fact that Ren Jialun presently holds the position of first shift in HR Century, but Tan Gi is also quite favored by the company, the resources are not terrible, and occasionally the projects he participates in are also reviewed, superior to the movie directed by Ren Jialun. This is because in point of fact, the resources are not terrible, and occasionally the projects he participates in are also reviewed, superior to the movie directed by Ren Jialun. According to the HR Century Artist Chart, which was introduced at the beginning of 2022, Ren Jialun is supposedly seated in the first shift chair in the firm. This information was obtained from the chart. It's not Yang, the Dilly Reba, is going out with someone else. Is it not true that Yang Zi is the one who divulged the information? People are talking about the relationship allegations that have been going around about Dilly Reba and a male celebrity who is not Yang. These rumors have been going around for a while now. Despite the absence of bloody movies, the traffic peak known as Dilly Reba remains one of the most popular in Kbiz as of the present day. The assets that have contributed to her success in garnering a huge number of fans are her outstanding good looks as well as her charming personality. In addition to her professional achievements, the audience is always interested in learning more about the stunning Xinjiang woman's past relationships. Ever since their song You Are My Pride became popular, there have been persistent speculations that Dilly Reba and Yang are dating. These allegations have been going on for quite some time. Not only are both members of this pair accomplished in their respective industries, but they also have appealing good looks and excellent chemistry while they are working together. On the other hand, the name Huang Jingyu is included multiple times on the list of Dilly Reba's purported romantic partners. The production of Happiness at Hand featured Huang Jingyu, a male star who collaborated with her on the project. There have been rumblings on the internet for some time now stating that Dilly Reba and Huang Jingyu are an item. These claims have been swirling for some time. The reason for this is that the wall color in the newly posted photo that demonstrates the slender waist of the Xinjiang beauty is the same as the wall color in the photo of the male star Hong. The explanation for this can be found in the sentence, the wall color in the newly posted photo that demonstrates the slender waist of the Xinjiang beauty is the blogger Truong Tu Han, who has never provided any evidence to support his theory that Dilly Reba and Huang Jingyu are dating, has also reshared the post full with meaning. Dilly Reba and Huang Jingyu are rumored to be dating. Han is quite certain that they are linked romantically with one another. However, the fact that the news of Dilly Reba and Huang Jingyu dating came from such an unexpected source was what stunned many people even more than the news itself. According to proponents of the Xinjiang beauty movement, Yang Zi's most ardent follower was the person who was responsible for spreading the information and even hired bloggers to create articles. It would appear that supporters of Tram Vu Hung Fai, the female protagonist, are still holding bitterness over the charges that she stole the achievements of a previous Dilly Reba. This information was only recently made available to the general public, and it is already garnering a significant amount of attention from people who use the internet. There is a widespread belief that Dilly Reba will not date a male star who is embroiled in an ethical crisis like Hwang Jinyu. This is the opinion held by the majority of people. In addition, because this is such an important time for the Xinjiang beauty's professional growth, she will not make her love known to the general public at this time. Thank you for choosing to watch my video. Goodbye and see you again.